Even though it's one of the best animated shows of recent times, Bluey isn't immune to little animation and continuity errors. For example, in the episode Hammer Barn, right at the very start, we see Bandit trying to clean out the house's gutter, which is all clogged up with leaves. Everything seems normal until he decides to play the cleaning hero, loses his balance, and stylishly smashes the pipe. But in the very next scene, surprise, the pipe is back, totally intact, as if nothing ever happened. All that's missing is for him to stand up, wink at the camera, and say, "Just a little editing trick, folks." These kinds of errors are way more common in the Bluey universe than you might think. After all, there are so many tiny details in every episode that no matter how hard the creators try to keep everything perfect, something always slips through here and there. We've picked out 15 new mistakes in Bluey that only the most eagle-eyed fans are likely to have spotted. Come along with us now for another video. Still in the episode Hammer Barn, here's another curious little detail worthy of a detective. Check out the leaves on the ground right by Chili's feet. This happens right after Bandit loses his balance and breaks the pipe. But moments later, when Bluey walks up to complain about Bingo's watermelon, the leaves are just gone. Did the wind blow them away? Did they get up and walk off on their own? Or were they sucked into some kind of gardening black hole? Who knows? What we do know is that they disappeared with a level of efficiency even a cartoon cleaning crew couldn't match. After the whole gutter disaster, the Healer family decides to take a trip to the store. Or rather, that mega shopping center that looks more like an amusement park for adults. The reason? Bandit absolutely has to get a pizza oven just like Pat's. You know how it is. The rivalry between dads is real. All excited, he gets to the store and asks one of the employees where the ovens are. The answer? Aisle 300. What? That store must be the size of a small city. If there are 300 aisles, just imagine how many steps Bandit's gonna have to take to get there. It's basically a marathon. Meanwhile, practical as always, Chili decides to make the most of it and do some shopping. After all, since they're already there, why not, right? She grabs a shopping cart. But look closely. In the first shot, the seat for kids in the cart just isn't there. It magically appears in the next scene, as if it had been set up by fairies. It happens so fast that if you blink, you'll miss it. And here's another little detail that'll make you scratch your head. When the store doors open and we see Snicker's mom, you can clearly spot a tree right behind her, practically hugging the entrance. So far, so good, right? But just seconds before that, we could see that the trees were way far from the crosswalk and the main entrance. And guess where the kids are? Exactly at the main entrance. So, how did that tree suddenly show up right there? Did it take a quick stroll? Or worse, did the store doors walk over to the tree just to make the shot look cooler? Ah, the mysteries of the Bluey universe. And if you think you've seen it all, hold on tight. Still in this same episode, there's a little plant that seems to have magical powers. The funny thing is that this plant has a special talent. It changes size throughout the episode like it's in some kind of video game. In one scene, it's big and leafy. In the next, it shrinks as if it just got spooked. Then it grows again, then shrinks. It's like they couldn't decide if it was supposed to be a mini tree or some kind of supercharged bonsai. With so many details happening all at once, it's very likely that most people didn't even notice. But now that you know, it'll be impossible to watch it again without paying attention to the mutant plant. Before we keep going through the 15 new mistakes in Bluey, drop a comment below. Plant. While they're shopping, Bluey is learning an important lesson. You can't always have the same thing as someone else. And as part of that lesson, Chili decides to grab just one pizza stone and puts it in the cart, right next to Bingo. But of course, things go south. Bluey looks at that stone with more desire than an adult eyeing an air fryer on sale and starts to complain. She wants that stone! But Chili already gave it to Bingo. The result? Sister showdown, tense vibes, and chaos. They end up knocking over a garden gnome right in the middle of the store. But then comes the magical, or maybe just continuity error moment. In the next scene, we see Chili still standing by the shelf with the stones and, surprise, the stone is right there, exactly as it was before. Like no one ever took anything. So did Chili only think she grabbed it? Or did the stone teleport itself back onto the shelf? A mystery. After giving her daughters a good lecture, That classic Chili moment, she keeps moving through the store, determined to find the pendant light and a few other things that only someone in a giant store would understand. But then, in the background of the scene, a mysterious character pops up. He's trying to grab something from the shelf, or at least it looks like he is. Everyone assumes he's reaching for some product, but there's one tiny problem. His hand doesn't even come close to the shelf, and the thing he's supposedly after is way up high, like practically on the ceiling. He'd need a ladder or at least a super jump. So the question is, what was he staring at so intensely? A product? A reflection? A ghost from the gardening department? Or maybe he was just pretending to look busy while waiting for his wife to finish shopping? The truth may never be revealed, but it sure is curious. Safety should always come first, or at least it should. But at the end of the episode, after all the adventure and finally setting up that long-dreamed-of pizza oven, Bandit decides to break it in like a true Italian chef. He preps the pizza, bakes it perfectly, and then, in all the excitement, does something we absolutely do not recommend doing at home. He starts slicing the pizza right inside the oven. Yep, that's right. No oven mitt, no letting it cool down, didn't even bother to take the tray out. Sure, he was pumped to serve the family, but let's be real, that's super dangerous. Cutting pizza inside a hot oven can lead to serious burns. So no matter how hungry you are or how amazing that pizza looks, just wait a few seconds, okay? In the episode Promises, which brings yet another important lesson for the most beloved, and maybe also the most chaotic family in the world, there's a curious detail right off the bat. The Healer family car has no license plate. That's right, the car we all know so well. The one that's always getting into adventures, drive-through lines, and backseat squabbles is mysteriously missing its plate. How is that even possible? After all, the Healer family license plate is practically a collector's item among Bluey fans. Did they have an accident and forget to put it back on? Still in the episode Promises, there's another funny scene, and a little goof, that you might have never noticed. Bandit takes the girls to play on the big bouncy castle, and everything seems totally normal. But then comes the time to leave. Bandit, with that classic tired dad tone who just wants the couch and a moment of peace, calls out to Bluey and Bingo. Naturally, they beg to stay just a little longer, but he insists, saying they've had plenty of time. He's already given in enough, and now it's time to go. But they don't want to leave. So Bandit decides to climb into the bouncy castle himself to fetch them. And that's when the miracle happens. All the other kids just vanish. In the previous scene, there were at least 5 kids jumping around. In the next scene, right after Bandit goes in, only 2 are left. Did the other kids feel the tension and just evaporate? And now is the perfect time for you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any updates from the channel. Of course, it wouldn't be Bluey without one of Bandit's classic goof-ups. When he goes to grab the girls off the bouncy castle, he ends up losing his balance and takes quite a fall, winding up with his arm kind of twisted. But the funny detail here is that the yellow and light blue patch on his belly actually changes shape in this scene. In all the other episodes, Bandit's patch always goes past the line of his arms. But during this fall, the patch looks different, like it got a last-minute touch-up or something. In the same episode, the family heads to the library, and before leaving the house, Bandit promises to play baby with the girls. That classic trick to get them to walk faster, right? Once they get there, he kneels down to ask the librarian for some books. But here's a curious detail. In this scene, he looks super short, but in the very next shot, he's taller, as if he suddenly grew a magic step. Maybe there was a hidden step on the library floor. Tired of seeing the whole family making promises just to get what they want, Chili decides to give one of her classic lectures, right in the middle of the street for everyone to hear. And while she's being all serious, you can spot a funny little detail. At one point, Bluey is standing in this weird position like she's biting her own arm. Is it nerves? Frustration? Or just her way of holding back her anger so she doesn't totally flip out? In the episode, the kids ask to play at the playground next to the library, and Bandit's cool with it, while Chili only agrees after making them promise that when she calls, they'll drop everything and head to lunch right away. But then, a curious scene happens. Bingo gets stuck in this playground structure that looks like a maze made of bars. It's got 7 bars, but when Chili crawls under it to help her daughter, some of the bars just vanish. So the structure mysteriously loses a few bars, leaving it with less than 7. Magic, maybe? In the episode Easter, Bandit's daughters wake up super excited to find the eggs the bunny left for them, but when they check their bag, they're a little disappointed. There's nothing there. But then they look more closely and realize there are clues. The first clue points them to the mailbox. Bluey and Bingo open it up and notice it's shaped like a little house, and to open it, you just have to lift the roof. And that's exactly what they do. But in the very next scene, like magic, the mailbox is closed again. How's that possible? I don't know about you, but that kind of power would be awesome when it's time to clean up messes. Mistakes in animation give each show its own unique charm, making fans rewatch episodes so they don't miss a single little detail. If you're a fan of Bluey and animated shows, we've got 2 really awesome videos that you're gonna love watching. Thanks for sticking with us, and see you next time!